Welcome to One.
Hi, I'm Astouline Nutakor. I am a theater and performance studies major, and I'm in the class of 2020.
Hi, my name is Iragi Nkera. I am a double major, majoring in theater and performance studies and economics, and I am in the year 2021.
Astoulin, we're about to see a reading from your senior thesis. Can you explain what it is?
Yeah, so my thesis is in the theater and performance studies department. It's a new undertaking for the department, and it's in community engaged theater. I wanted to do a project that actually had practical implications and that reached out to work with a group of people in New Haven. I ended up finding this wonderful group of youth called Ice the Beef, and it's an organization that exists in New Haven, and it's actually an anti-gun violence organization that provides this after-school walk-in program for youth. And basically the project was to do a series of workshops, weekly workshops. What you'll see is kind of a product of all their work, all their stories, and their real-life experiences woven together into a fictional play.
Iragi, how did you meet Astoulin, and what role do you play in the production?
So I'm a junior, and so a lot of juniors plan on sort of being producers for senior projects. And so Astoulin was advised by Charlana, the DOS of Theater Studies, to reach out to me about producing. She did, and we had a first meeting where she talked to me about the project, and I immediately was interested in everything that she had to say. Living in New Haven for like 3 years, I like being in contact with people in New Haven and not just staying in this Yale bubble. So this was something that I feel like was just very interesting for me and something I really enjoyed doing. Main things that I was tasked to do with: securing funding and developing a budget. I helped with the production timeline. Another aspect was just help creating an outreach plan for families, advertising to the Dixwell community, and just supporting students throughout the process. And the last thing I want to mention is sort of my favorite of having this role, and that's being at the workshops and sort of interacting with the students.
We'll be hearing an excerpt from the play Song Circle Rising. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Basically, it's about these youth who come together at this youth program in friendship and healing, very much like the youth that this play is based on. Many of the exercises, the theater exercises that we did in the workshops actually appear in the play, and the Song Circle is one of them. And at the end, the play kind of finds its resolution through a kind of surreal moment where they all are singing together, even though they're in different spaces. Somehow it seems as though they can hear each other. And so that's the idea of the Song Circle kind of rising, even though they're not together anymore.
How has physical distancing affected the production of this work?
So this work was supposed to result in a production in the Davenport Theater at Yale. Of course, because of the lockdown, this production was not able to happen. So in that sense, there was not really a sense of closure. But I think this interview has given us an opportunity to come back together and look at this project again and have more of a sense of closure.
Without further ado, let us meet some of the youth performers of the production Song Circle Rising.
The interior of the center. It consists mostly of one large room, about the size of half a basketball court, mostly bare except for a large set of speakers, a folding table, and scattered chairs against the walls. All sit in a semicircle on the floor. Kamal sits as far away from C as possible. Mariah, like Mariah Carey, but with an O and without the Carey. I like to praise dance. I'm gonna be a star, y'all just watch.
Thanks, Mariah. You can sit down.
Y'all know me, Ty J. I like to dance too, and I can sing.
Hi, I'm Lena. I'm nice.
That's true. She real nice.
Thank you, Lena.
Hi guys, I'm Cassidy. I'm not really good at anything,
What? That's not true.
True.
but I like to make stuff with my hands sometimes and basically, yeah, make stuff.
And she plays the clarinet.
Yeah, that clarinet is bomb. It is the bomb.
And this is Nyla and Kamal, everybody.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
You guys may be new, but this is your home now. We're all family here. Kamal, you got something to say? Yeah, I got something to say. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that family ain't all that it's cracked up to be. People be like, but it's family, but it's family, but it's family. But if they're not acting like family should act, then you gotta go. That's why I left.
Look, I've been through that too. Since the age of 15, I haven't lived at a home with either of my parents. She's been more of a father figure to me than my actual father. But that's why I made my own family. Like the people that I can trust and depend on, and the people that's always been there for me. So I got a lot of family, blood and not blood. Yeah, family and all that is cracked up to be. So make your own.
I love my parents and my brother.
Aw, you're just a sweetie pie.
I've got a brother too. We were really close. I mean, we still are. But my brother didn't necessarily have the same benefits that I did. Because I was born here, I didn't have to go through the same things like to get papers or like a visa. So unfortunately, he was deported. He was sent back home to DRC. He just graduated. He's a year ahead of me. But yeah, his papers were expired or something. And we fought so hard for him, like to stop them from sending him back. But I guess it just didn't work. So now we're not together anymore.
I'm so sorry, Lena. Me and my brother got separated too. We got separated growing up because we had to go into foster care. Switch homes a couple of times. I still get to see him, but not as often as I like. I've been with my new foster parents for a year now. I like them. They respect me. It feels nice to have someone who cares about you. That makes things much easier. I really miss being with my brother, but there's nothing I can do. All I can do is live my life and see how everything will go, right? I know I have to move forward, not backwards, but it's hard.
Aw, y'all are so sweet, sharing your life stories and everything. You know what? Y'all are my family. I remember when I first joined this group. It was in the 4th grade. At first, I couldn't sing, like, at all. I couldn't even dance. But, like, I came in and, like, C taught me how to, like, do everything, and everybody just came together and became a family. Even if they came in before me or after me, everybody just, like, leaned on each other. And, like, when we was doing shows and everything, it really felt like, at first, I was so shy. I remember one time I messed up on stage. I was shy. Anyway, one time I was on stage and I had messed up and I stopped. But then like everybody was like, it's okay. Everybody messes up. So one time I messed up again, but I kept going because everybody was like, it's okay. It's part of life. Everybody makes mistakes and everything. So now I'm here and I'm gonna be a star. Y'all watch. She looks at them laughing, then begins dancing again. Her dance grows more and more intense until all the others join in. Somebody turns on some music, maybe one of the dancers coming in. Nyla hesitates. Taijay holds out his hand and helps her up. She begins to dance. They're all having a blast. Taijay turns to help Kamal up. He refuses. He watches the rest of them, sitting on the ground. Scene.